Red, White, and Blue Thrift. Let's see what we can find in this bad boy. Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of Freak Finds, where we go to thrift stores, Facebook groups, Craigslist, eBay, whatever it takes to find old movies, video games, CDs, whatever we're into collecting on that particular day. Now today I went to this thrift store called Red, White, and Blue Thrift. It's this little place near my house. It's not, I guess you wouldn't say it's little. It's almost like a big warehouse of junk. But they have a pretty extensive DVD collection there. And every couple weeks I go there to see what I can find, see what's new, see what's being put out from the back. And today we got a lot of treasures. I want to start here with Father's Day, starring Robin Williams and Billy Crystal. I remember this being a nice little comedy from, like, I'd say 1997. I didn't remember old Elaine from Seinfeld was in it. But this is one of those DVDs that's got two sides. It's widescreen and full screen. Not a ton of special features. You probably have some trailers, production notes. That's not much. But these, I like these cases, okay? These cases were put out, if I remember right, by Warner Brothers, New Line Cinema, and a couple other studios back in, like, early 2000s when DVDs first came around. And luckily today I was able to find a good collection of these. My next one is Spawn, the action classic from 1997. You guys will remember John Leguizamo as the clown in that movie. It's iconic performance. But this is another one of those full screen and widescreen DVDs. Which, who needs the full screen at this point? But it's still a nice relic. And I like the way they snap and look on a shelf. They just got a look to them. They're like thinner than a regular DVD case. I don't know. I dig it. Another one of these snap cases I found was Steven Seagal's Above the Law. I remember this one being an okay action movie in the 90s. I like these kind of B action movies, especially Steven Seagal. See, it's another one of those full screen, widescreen gimmicks. I mean, it's a fun flick. I'll probably end up watching this. We're doing a podcast, 90 movies for the 90s, and this ain't going to make the cut. Definitely not. The next flick, now this case is real nasty and beat up, but it's a Menace to Society. And I couldn't help myself, see, it's another full screen, widescreen gimmick, but I couldn't help myself buying it because of the snap case. But as I got in the car and started looking at this, it looks like somebody wiped their ass with it or put it through a fucking sewer plant. And the disc is it's got thumbprints and shit on it, but it's in fairly decent condition for what the case looks like. I don't know. It's cool to have on the shelf, but it's really not. If I can find a better copy of this, even if it's in a newer case, I'll probably toss this one out. Because, like, as you can see, all the movies I bought today were $2, except one exception, which is probably the most valuable one for me. And we'll get to that at the end. And my next flick here is What About Bob, the Bill Murray, Richard Dreyfuss flick from like 1991. This is not a double-sided. This is one of your classic, we're re-releasing a 90s movie on DVD. We got the orange text, see the sleeve, and also $1.99. But I really like when they do these for like mid-early 90s comedies, that orange text. I don't know why. Anytime I see that on the shelf, I'm like, I'm picking this up. I'm going to see what it is. And this time it was a good choice because this is a good movie. I really like that one. The next one, this is more of a late 90s classic. This is Kingpin, starring Woody Harrelson, Randy Quaid, and Vanessa Angel. Okay, the special features are nothing to write home about. And it's another one of them dual-sided ones. But this movie, I know Woody Harrelson was in a bunch of movies before this and a bunch of movies after this. But for me, this movie is the shining moment of Woody Harrelson in Hollywood and films. He is so goddamn funny in this movie. And Randy Quaid is fucking hilarious as an Amish dude. This movie is just a classic. This will definitely be on our list, and I will fight for this one on our 90s for 90s podcast. Next movie here is another one that I would fight to the death for, and that's Jim Carrey's The Cable Guy. Directed by, wasn't this Ben Stiller? Yeah, Ben Stiller. This movie, when I was a kid, as you can see, single disc, just no real special features, whatever. It's a widescreen release, though. No shit, this is a full screen release. That is really upsetting. I'm very upset at this DVD right now. I'm probably going to bust it on camera. No, I'm not going to bust it. But this is one of my favorite movies of all time. When I was a kid, when this movie came out, I kept going to the video store, renting it over and over and over again, waiting for it to go on sale. And I put my name in, and eventually they sold it to my mom, and I got it as a secret gift. And I watched this fucking movie. I'm not exaggerating. Every night of the week, at like 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock, it was cable guy time, and I would get up, go to school, come home, do whatever. 8 o'clock came, we're watching Cable Guy again. I did this for like 2 or 3 weeks straight. I memorized like every line of this fucking movie. I loved it. It is such a weird, dark comedy, and Jim Carrey is like straddling that line between funny and creepy so well. There's so many classic moments in this movie. That Jefferson Airplane song became, for me, a classic because of this movie. And Matthew Broderick always had a soft spot because of this. I just love this flick. It's so great. The next one is one of my brother's favorites, and that's Virus, starring Jamie Lee Curtis. And who else was in this? William Baldwin, Donald Sutherland. Yeah, this movie is a really good monster flick. This is a widescreen release. It has those weird little snaps that you would get on some of these older DVDs when they went from those like snap cases I showed you earlier to these ones. I always thought these were really annoying and unnecessary because like goddamn thing closes by itself anyways. You don't need that shit. But this has a nice little insert of the chapters of the flick. And then you got just a single disc DVD with some production notes, deleted scenes, whatever. Normal special features, nothing crazy. But this is one that, for me, is straddling the line for our list. That I think it's a good movie. It's a really good creature flick. Good special effects. Good tension. Jamie Lee Curtis is great in it. But, I don't know. It kind of falls in that line of like Deep Impact and Mimic from around that time with these like really good, weird underground creature flicks. I dig it. It was definitely worth $2. And my last movie today, this movie is... It's very challenging for some people. It's on the borderline of being a classic and an absolute hated bomb dreadful flick. For me, Cabin Boy is an absolute classic. This movie is hilarious. Chris Elliott is just ridiculous in this movie. It's single disc edition, not that much, but it also has that orange text I was telling you guys about earlier on these 90 comedies. And you know if you see that on a 90s comedy that it's going to be a good time. In this movie, I got it on VHS when our video store went out of business, and I just, oh my god. There's so many great scenes and just bizarre stuff in this movie. If you haven't seen it, I recommend going out of your way to find it, because you either are going to love it or hate it. But if you love it, it will become one of your favorites, and it will definitely have a place on your DVD collection. So that's all I got today from the Red, White, and Blue Thrift Store, but I'm very excited with my haul, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Subscribe, like, watch the podcast, listen to the podcast, I mean. Watch the videos, get into it, man. The Freaks of Nature Network. It's, we're going to have a lot of these videos with these movies. I'm buying stuff every day. There's so many cheap DVDs out there, guys. If you're looking to get back into collecting and you're not looking for the 4K stuff, because that's really where the money is right now. That's where everything's expensive. Blu-rays and DVDs are on like a basement sale right now. And you know, in 20 years, people are going to be looking for these old DVD releases with the cool artwork and the cases and the snap cases. So get out there and find stuff, man. There's definitely a market. And I'll see you guys next time.